Good morning. Are you ready for Christmas yet? Tuesday morning, we did a reading from Zechariah's life with the help of Walter Wangerin in his book, Preparing for Jesus. My favorite line was, "Professional choices, the priesthood with all its duties and even its highest honors, turn to ashes in this uncreated light." Wow, that was a great one. I want you at the end in the comment section, certainly the most important thing is to apply today's lesson, but I want you to tell me which one you like better, the reading from yesterday or today, which Wangerin calls a teaching. And I'm not going to be reading it, I'm just going to be summarizing it for you. This teaching is, if I was able to, would change your prayers and your perspective on your prayers forever. So let's try with dependence on the Holy Spirit. Wangerin begins by telling a true story from his own life of his mother tiredly, exhaustedly praying for him because of his another terrifying night with asthma. This time, this is what she prayed: "Save his life, O Lord. Possess his life. Use his life for something good, and then you'll have a good reason to let him live a long life in this world. Please, please save his life." So she joined her heart's concern to God's, and God answered, even though by the time he did, she'd forgotten that prayer. That, Wangerin says, is also what happened to Zechariah and Elizabeth in their prayer for the child whose name was John. For this prayer, the angel mentioned had only begun being prayed when Zechariah and Elizabeth were probably when they were first married, and then later, probably like Wangerin's mother, it became an anguished prayer, and then finally probably assumed that the answer was no, just forgotten by God. But God did answer this prayer, as he answers every prayer. And as he answered the prayer of his people for the Messiah, as Galatians says, in the fullness of time. So then Wangerin turns to you and he says, "And you, my friend, you thought your older prayers had gone unanswered. And you thought your personal praying had nothing to do with anybody besides maybe yourself and a handful of intimate folk. But your prayer is never yours alone. It is also God's, So the young couple prayed for a baby, and in the fullness of time, God gave it to them. But the child they wanted was also the man God wanted. And what the Lord gave to that particular couple, he gave to the world. The prophet he had prepared and so predicted way back in Malachi 3:1. Listen to that prediction in which God predicted some couple like this was going to be praying for such a one. "Behold," said the Lord through Malachi, I send my messenger to prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple, the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight. Behold, he is coming." And then in the very last verses of the Old Testament, he said, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes, and he will turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the land with a curse." The very promise that the angel quoted to Zechariah that day. So now, what do you do with this? What you do is you add your own personal prayer. This is how Wangerin ends. "So now, my friend, you're about to pray a little prayer. Whom shall you pray for? What is your immediate heart desire? Pray it. Use simple words. Consider but your own plain portion of existence. It's enough. It is good and fully enough. For even as you pray it, the prayer lodges with God, eternal, omnipotent, God only wise, never to die, but in the fullness of time to find its holiest and most blessed expression. Let us each, in our own words then, pray a personal prayer today.